This is the Ramos MOS 1. This just came the other day. I got this, it was originally on pre-order from Gear Best. I think it was about $100. So it arrived and I took it out of the box and I looked at it and I thought, well, okay, it looks like an iPhone. iPhone 6, 6S, slightly different. If you can see the round the edges here, it's actually like chamfered edges. It's quite nice. I like this. From the camera, has a blue edging round it. Looks nice. The phone in general feels very, very nice to hold. They say it's CNC with a magnesium body, so it just means that it looks very, very sleek, slim and nice to the touch. So spec wise, this is a 5.5 inch full HD screen. Now I was just looking on the internet here and it says the screen is GFF AHVA display. I don't know what that is. So the screen is 5.5 inches. It looks nice. This comes with a 64-bit Qualcomm Snapdragon 615. It has 2 GB of RAM, single SIM, and this version in particular is 32 GB, no SD expansion, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. It comes out of the box with Android 5, and the battery is a 3000 mAh battery, which you cannot change. So I mean, I'm going to get onto this in a minute. You see that? We're going to get onto this in a minute because it's the dreaded malware. Yep, Ramos have followed the same as Lay TV or Lay Echo, and they have got the malware which is doing horrible things like putting these stupid adverts on. I've only had this phone up and running for a very short time, and I have noticed a number of times that the malware or it's wanting me to install stupid games. I'm going to get into that in a minute. I wanted to just finish with the general impression. I mean, everything, the box, everything it came with, you can see here, it's just basic charger, but it's nice, you know, understated. And this is the whole thing about this phone. I mean, okay, there's no getting away from it. It looks like an iPhone 6, 6S, even the iPhone 7 sway a wee bit like that. Apart from the camera, it's a 13 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. The general vibe to this is it's an iPhone, you know, homage, shall we say. It's not a copy because this, as I said, this kind of bezel edging, chamfered, is quite nice. So yep, just go around the phone with the usual. On this side we have the power button, and here you have just the volume up and down rockers. On the back speaker, back speaker, and I played some music from that, and it was okay. It sounded alright. I don't really use it that much, so what am I going to say? It sounded fine. And I like this camera, as I said, with the blue edging and the LED. Nothing really much to else to. There's no physical buttons, only soft buttons here. So in general, if you like the iPhone style, then this is looking pretty good. So the screen, yep, I think the screen looks nice. I did Antutu, and I will just show you. permissions for Antutu. Now the score for Antutu was, let's see, it was, there you go, can you see it there? It was 34,508. I thought it might have been a wee bit better than that, but then, you know, I'm not that sure about these benchmarking and Antutu. I think if the phone is running fine, no lagging, and you don't notice anything, then what does it matter about the score? I can remember when I had my HTC One, the M7, the original one, I think the Antutu score was about 30,000, and that was like, oh my god, it was really, really high. But now you see, if you look at the rankings here, you will see crazy scores of, let's see if anything comes up. Info, don't know, maybe because I'm not connected to the internet. The Le Echo was one of their Le TV Max or something like that, was like 130,000. So, you know, I mean, I think we're, if you don't notice any problems with the phone, I think that this processor and 2 GB of RAM is more than enough to keep you going throughout the day. And really, I don't think anybody would be unhappy with the performance of this type of phone, similar spec phone, you know. So I think these benchmarking, I mean, okay, it may give you a bit of an idea, but really, does it really mean anything ultimately? I don't think so. I tried the music via my Jaybird Bluetooth, Jaybird X2 Bluetooth speakers. Sounded pretty good, nice and beefy, full sounding. So that was with Bluetooth, and the good thing, and oh, these are my Bluetooth speakers here. Probably the best Bluetooth headphones that you can buy. These are excellent, about $70. Really great sound. Now, I did try my Zero. I'm a big fan of these. This is the Zero DAC with its own amplifier, and it works via can you see it here, the micro USB. I did try this, and it worked. So excellent. You know, if you have these cracking, these are about $49. I know I've talked about them before, but these are absolutely excellent. Zero DAC headphones, something they're called. They're absolutely excellent, so definitely well worth the money. That's my headphones, not my Bluetooth speakers. Back to this. Now I was just looking, before I forget, I was looking in at the settings here, and I couldn't see about phone. I didn't see anything about like OTA updates, so I'm not sure. Now look, Ramos, if people know about Chinese brands, Ramos is better known for their tablets, media players, things like that. I believe this and its bigger brother, I think it's called the Ramos Max, MOS Max, something like that. These are the first phones that they have done, as far as I'm aware, that are available at least outside China. Now, a couple of years ago I did have a 5-inch Ramos media player. It was like 4 GB. It was an Android player, and it was at the time it wasn't that expensive, and I thought it was pretty decent. It had 4 GB, if I can remember, and you could put an SD card in. So I remember it not being bad. I mean, I sold it to somebody, and I just remember it being a nice alternative to a iPod. So I think this is their first phone. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time that I'm wrong. But and you know, a pretty decent effort. The camera, as I said, 15 megapixel. Can you see it there? 13 megapixel. Talking crap today, don't know why. And it was the camera is it's okay. It's nothing. You know, nothing to write home about. I'm just deleting this. It was, here it is here. Come on, let's see it. Photos. Right, so there's the. Yeah, it's fine. Look, you know, look, it's fine. Okay, it's not a. It's probably better than most, and not as bad as some. So. Again, the camera, you know, you're going to use that mostly for quick snaps, maybe use the video. So it's not a deal breaker for me. The PPTV King 7 that I'm using, I don't think the camera's great on it. It's okay, but you know, actually for the photographs, if I'm taking photographs with my phone, I'm using the BlackBerry Passport. That's got an excellent camera. It takes brilliant photos, so kudos to BlackBerry for having such a great camera. I talked about the sound, I talked about the benchmarking. I'm going to talk about what the problem is, I think. So I just noticed when I was fiddling around with it, a few adverts came up, and I thought maybe it was it didn't come with the Android version here is very, very basic, so it's very stock, it's very vanilla, nothing on top really. But I noticed it didn't have a file browser, so I installed ES file browser here. Can you see here? Yes, there somewhere. And sometimes that has some adverts. Obviously the free version of it has some adverts, so I thought it was that. But then I just noticed, you know, a couple of times, and I thought, no, I have ES on some tablets and stuff like that, and I don't notice it being so bad. So what I did was I looked into the app setting, and what I found, I'm going to try and show you this because it's difficult to see it. Hold on. Let me try and get it for you here. This one here, it's called HAL, HAL services. Okay, now this one I noticed before on my Le TV, Le Pro one, that had a thing called Ant keyboard, and it had this HAL services on it as well, and this was the app that was the malware, and you could not delete it. I downloaded the what do you call this one, malware, what's it called, the correct name, Malware Bytes. That didn't detect anything. Okay, so I'm not sure how good this one is, but it didn't detect anything. So I then went to this one here, stubborn Trojan Killer. Okay, now that is the one. Let me see if I can just focus this a bit more here. Sorry. There. Okay, sorry about that. Stubborn Trojan Killer. I tried this one, and it told me that I had a infection, which is a real pain in the buttocks. And when you tried to kill it, what happened? It said no, can't be killed. It will. You need to root it, and it gives you a link to the Kingroot app. So I am on camera. I am going to something. Let's hope. I'm going to try it. Okay, so let me see if you can see here. This one, Kingroot. I'm going to try and root it live on air, because it's the only way that we'll get rid of this stupid malware. So Kingroot you can download from their website. it is relatively easy to use, he says. Just permissions, and let me see if I can get this without being too reflection from the light. Try it. Okay, so let's see if it's going to work. Now, my experience with Kingroot is that it works sometimes, and then other times there is no solution for failed to acquire cloud, issued root strategy check now. Okay, it's looking for me some kind of Wi-Fi signal. Let me just I can't get a signal here. I'm just going to go out. I will be back in one moment. Hold on. Oh no, there we got a signal now, so let me go back to it. Oh man, what a pain in the butt. Skip. So let's try one out. I will yeah, it's not getting the Wi-Fi, so I will just stop it here and I will come back in 1 second. I had to go and get a Wi-Fi signal, and the Kingroot went through its paces, and I believe it's routed it with no problems. I've now went back into the Stubborn Trojan Remover app, and it is doing its scan. So let's see what happens, and I will show you the Kingroot, what it looks like, etc, etc. Okay, so oh yeah, there you go. No stubborn Trojan found in your phone. Yippee, yippee. Hold on, that's my phone. I'll get back to you. Sorry about that. So as I said, stubborn Trojan Killer. Yes, no stubborn Trojan found in your phone. Now, previous to that, it said there was like a pup, you know, this potentially unwanted program or something like that. So I can confirm, he says, optimistically, that, can we see, can you see it? Kingroot. I'm going to open it now, and I'll try and show you without the reflection from my light. It all seems to be working pretty good. So well done, Kingroot, for helping me. I will. I did try Kingroot with my what do you call it, with my Lay TV, and it didn't work. Okay, it didn't for getting that malware. It didn't work, and that was when I tried it on the via the PC, and then it looked like it was going. It looked like everything was going to be working. It was going to get rooted, because Stubborn Trojan Killer needed root access to remove that bloody malware that the Lay TV had. So it looked like on my laptop, it looked like it was going to work, and no, it didn't work. Okay, and then the phone went into a kind of fast boot. It just went into fast boot, then wouldn't come out of fast boot, so it was kind of stuck in, and really it's, well, it could be fixed possibly, but not by me. I ain't got the skills. When I'm going to Glasgow next month, I might try and take it to, there's a shop in the West End, I believe, that is pretty good. I might take it to them and see, and if they don't charge me too much, it might be worth it, because remember, I also dropped that Lay TV Le1 Pro was really just bad luck right from the beginning. So I dropped it, the screen is cracked. I bought a replacement screen, it's bricked, it's lying in a drawer. It might get fixed, if not then basically I lost my money. Boo-hoo, what can we do? So getting back to this, now that it has been rooted and that annoying malware is gone, then yeah, I think this phone is a interesting proposition. So you know, the Kingroot was easy. You just go to the website, download it, and then follow the instructions. I mean, you don't need to be you know, a computer programmer. It's pretty easy. So I'm hoping that that will have Stubborn Trojan Killer says it's gone. So and it was identified as being low risk as well. It's just like really annoying adverts, which you don't want, especially if you're going to sell it. And yeah, Stubborn Trojan Killer, yippee. So I will finish this review by saying what I said at the beginning, is that, I mean, if you like the iPhone shape but you'll prefer Android, this might be, you know, it's just something that is worth your attention. Phone there. If you like, as I was saying, if you like the kind of iPhone vibe but you want something a wee bit different, you're prepared to you can live with the malware, this might be an interesting proposition. Now, I'm not exactly sure how much it's going to cost, but as I said, I got it for around 100, and it was about $100 something from GearBest. You can check Coolie Cool, Banggood, any of these ones, and see if they have got it. And you can also look at the price of its bigger brother, which I think has got 3 GB of RAM, and I think the screen of the bigger Ramos is 6.4. So but it's full HD, and I don't think it's a 2K screen, so I wouldn't be that interested unless it was 2K screen. Now, the only other thing that you have to take into consideration, and I may be wrong about this and somebody can prove me wrong, is I couldn't see like an over-the-air updater. So I don't know how you'll be able to update it unless they release something you know, that you have to flash it yourself. I'm not sure, and I could be, and I hope I'm wrong, but it's definitely worth considering. The sound is good, headphone sound is good, camera is fine, call quality, I made one call again, and again to my wife. She does say hello, and look, that, you know, I've said it before, I'm not that interested so much in the call quality. As long as I can hear the person, they can hear me. But it was okay, it wasn't up to the standard of my BlackBerry Passport, but yeah, it was in the middle. Okay, it has a 5 megapixel front camera, which is par for the course these days, and you know, so that is it. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned it is only single SIM. Yeah, I know, I don't understand it. Usually all the Chinese manufacturers come with dual SIM. This has only got single SIM and no SD card storage, so that's probably a deal breaker for a lot of people. And for me, can I really recommend this? Well, no, I can't 100% recommend it, because I think there's better phones on the market with more flexibility, dual SIM, SD card expansion. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice phone, it's got a nice screen, it's got a nice look to it, but if you were to ask me honestly, no, I would spend the money on an L phone or Uli phone, or if you wanted to try Umi, look, there's other ones I would try. So I'm sorry, Ramos, but you let the team down with no dual SIM, no SD card, and you installed malware, which is really, really annoying. I really fail to understand why any company would think it's a good idea. I honestly haven't a clue. So that is my review. of the Ramos MOS one. Sorry if I seemed if it was a bit disjointed, but you know, with trying to show you how to do the root, etc., and I wasn't expecting that, but I thought, okay, I will show. So sorry it was a bit disjointed, but that is it. I can't recommend it. It's a nice enough phone, but no, there's better phones out there. So any questions, comments, blah 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 blah, just leave them at the bottom. I will do my best to answer them. Most probably I won't have this very long. I will sell it. Now I feel happier selling it that malware's gone. So that's it. Okay, bye bye.